Hey everybody, this is Pissed Rhino. I want to wish everybody a happy Father's Day. I hope all the dads out there are having a good time, enjoying their families. Mine actually just went grocery shopping to get some things for dinner. So I figured I'd do a short video. One, I wanted to talk to you about an issue that I saw that a couple of people have complained about. And then two, I want to go through some mail calls that I got for Father's Day and for Mother shipments. And three, I want to talk about wheels. So let's get started. So the first issue, I've had a couple guys get on here and say that their axle, their Meus portals did not come with a servo. If you watched the entire last video, you would have heard, and if you read the title, you would see that these are pre-production. So these are not available yet. You can't just go buy a Meus servo because they have not been released. So the axle kits that they sell now are without servo. Later, I'm sure they will sell this whole complete unit, but obviously the price will be higher because it'll have a servo on it. So you did not get shorted, you did not get gypped. The price you paid was for the axle and for the mount. Later on, when they add the servo, the price will go up, so you actually got it cheaper than other people will in the future. And you'll be able to add these servos by themselves because they will be selling them by themselves at a later date. So please don't think you were shorted by Meus. These are pre-production. I got these just because we're doing this show and I'm supposed to test them out for them and let them know what I think. So I will do that for them and I'll do that for you. So if they suck, I'll tell you they suck. If they're great, I'll tell you they're great. Or if they're just same old, which I'm kind of thinking they might be. We'll see. I'll let you know that too. So that's the main issue that I wanted to talk about as far as previous videos. I just thought that was weird that I had tried to make it as clear as possible that these are pre-production, that you can't get these, but I still had questions on why didn't I get them. So anyway, let's move on to the wheels. Let's do that next, because I want to just I've told you about these in the past, and I don't know if people really understood what I was talking about. So you have your wheel, you have your regular brass insert, and then you have your beadlock if you're running real beadlocks. So this is what's going to go on the red. Here, I'll pull it out just for fun. This is what's going to go on that nice red wheel. Another thing I wanted to point out is I finally got my standoffs and they worked unbelievably well. This chassis is completely sturdy now. There's no flex between the shock towers. I mean, these two little things, I got like 10 of them for like $6. So for $6, even if you didn't cut out your chassis, you can make it stiffer by adding in these little things here. You just need to know the dimension you need as far as length, size of screw you want to use. I used M2. I think you can use M2.5 as well, but stay away from the 3s. 3s are just way too big. You'll have to drill out the holes for 3s. So I got 2 of them tightened up between the chassis, and it's strong as can be. And then the last thing I'm going to do to it is add these red wheels and some LG Trx4m tires. And then this one will be finished. So move that back out of the way. So you got your wheel, you got your regular weighted brass beadlock insert, and then your beadlock. That's your wheel. Now, first thing you do is you take up the foam. I think I've showed this assembly process before, but I just want to kind of show everybody's. So outside of the tire, so you put this in the tire. So let's say this is in a tire. Then you take your foam, you push that inside, and then while that's inside, you slide your wheel through. You put your weight on there. Your weight can actually go in first, but so inside the tire, it looks like that. And then you put your beadlock on over the tire and mount it to the wheel. And so this is what it looks like without the tire. I know it's hard to understand, but what this does is give you so much more weight. So a tire wheel assembly with one of these puts it at 100 grams per wheel, which is an amazing amount of weight. Much more than just putting on wheel hubs or something like that. But here's what I use. Let me get my light on here. So the 1.55 brass 21 millimeter internal rings. These are by SSD, and I usually get them at A-Main Hobbies. They're 20 bucks for two, so they are expensive. They're 40 bucks for a full set, but I mean that gives you an extra 300 grams of weight or 250 grams of weight, so they're well worth it. So inside the wheel, it looks like, inside the tire, it looks like this. You put your wheel on, you strap it down, and that's how you get it. Anyway, I just want to show you that again, so that everybody knew, you know, what I'm talking about when I'm talking about adding the weight to the wheels, because that's totally unsprung weight, and it really helps, you know, get the most amount of grip out of the bottom, because it, you know, the extra weight spreads it out, so you're getting more traction than you would without them. And I love doing this. That's a sticky tire. Anyway, if you doubt NGRP tires, you need to try them out because they are awesome. That's what I've got on all the rides. As far as a finished, you can see that it pushes out the weight at the bottom. So you're using more tread. So it's a great idea. I think it works great. I'm sure in some crawling scenarios it might not be great depending on the track you're at, but I'm going to continue to do it as long as it works. Alright, let's get into the fun stuff. Some gifts. First, my kids got me some skid plates. These are black. These are powder coated. That's what I was looking for. and they're only like $10 on Amazon. But it's pretty, it's really sturdy. It's not one of those ones you bend yourself. So it's a lot thicker than those. You know, the complaint's been in the past that they hang up on these. It really depends on how much ground clearance you have. So since we got so much ground clearance with the portals, I think these might not be too bad to use. I don't know. This little set seems nice. Comes in this cool little plastic case. Not sure why, but it does. So we've got that. Next up, we got the Meus version. These are also skid plates, but made by Meus. They're a little different than all the rest. So I thought I would... I mean, these have been out for a while, so I'm sure a bunch of you guys have these, so it's not a big special deal, but you know, you got the little teeth. I like the little teeth. I think that's pretty neat. They got a lot different bend than the others that I just showed you. And then the bottom has little air vents on the side and has the Meus logo on the bottom. So that's the Meus skid plates. The main reason I wanted to get some skid plates is to cover up the brass. See, this one's brass. And the black comes off easy, the brass comes off easy, meaning brass isn't as strong as other materials, obviously. So, I thought putting a skid plate over this would be a good idea, and I still think it is. So, I'm gonna try it, see if it helps any. Hopefully, it doesn't create any other issues, but we'll see. Next up are my drive shafts for the next build, the full Meus build. So I got the axles. Quality wise, I don't know. I've never used them before. You guys know I always use GPM. Let's see. Well, as far as sticking, they don't stick. The U-joints are my thing I don't like the most, but the ends are different sizes, which are good. Some don't. GPMs are the same, so you get a little side-to-side slop there. But that one's good. Now these slide really good, so I don't know. I'm interested to see how good they are. I mean, by feel out of the package, they feel good. Yeah, pretty happy with that, honestly. Surprised. And then we got another set of shocks. Now I have one set. Sorry, reaching over here. So I have this set, which is the pewter with the black, and these are black with the silver. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a full set of fully black shocks. So I'll use these pieces and then this barrel. So it'll be completely black. So I'll have a black set for the next build, which is a black build. And then I'll have a silver with these gray ones for another build. So I know that sounds stupid that I buy two sets of shocks to make one, but guys, I want it to look exactly the way I want it to look. That's what customizing means. You don't just buy off the shelf parts. You make what you want. Just like these are not intended to be used for the way I use them, but they work, so I use them. Standoffs, you know, these are not something you can just, but you can't say I need standoffs for the Meus Ripper chassis. No, you have to take measurements, you have to see what'll fit, and then you get them. So, anyway, you guys get my drift. It's not all just cut and dry anymore. My next Father's Day gift is one that is pretty cool. It's another set of Hex Tools. You see they're about the exact same length as what I have and width as what I have. These have titanium, black titanium finishes, whereas these have gold titanium finish. Venom RC. The only thing for my old tools is they've got ball bearing caps. You can't even take them off, but there's a ball bearing in there, so they move a lot easier on the ends. And these are just O-ringed in, but they got a good weight to them. They feel really good. I'll use them for sure. Especially since they're a gift, they'll probably be my go-to tools now because my kid got these for me. So, color-coded by size, so you know what size you're using based on color once you memorize them. So that's cool. Another thing that I got is this little box here. Now there's usually not a whole lot of drilling going on with RCs, but for some reason, for me, I'm drilling all the time. I'm either drilling holes out or I'm making new holes, or like these wheels will probably have to be drilled out so that my extension nuts fit through them. But anyway, I got a set of drill bits, but multiple bits, because the sizes I use usually break or disappear. So not too worried about this stuff up here, but these first 3, 4, I use all the time for random stuff. So I thought that was cool. Got a bunch of drill bits now, and if I need them, I got them. Last but not least, you guys know I made that panel. Oh, here it is. I made that panel for underneath around the transmission. So I got this thicker piece of ABS. This is, I think, twice as thick as the one I used. Might be too thick. I might have to just use the same material I have for the other one, but got a straight rule to make sure all my lines are straight. And then I got this cool cutting tool. I usually just use my blade knives, my standard blade knives. But this one, I don't know how easy it's going to be to open this. It's time for my mini switchblade. Well, I don't know how you open this. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. But this blade, this is the blade knife. And it doesn't, oh. And then here's the blade shape that you use. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. That blade shape up here, that's what you use to cut the plastic. And supposedly, it makes it a lot easier using this style blade than the other one. Because the other blade, once you start cutting, you don't know which direction you're going, and it could go all over the place. So I'm hoping with a good straight edge, I can get them straight the first time. So anyway, I thought that was kind of a little setup to try and make those better. Oh, I guess this is my last gift that I got. I'm sure you guys have seen these on Amazon. So push that down, and then you pull this up, and this is an electric screwdriver. Takes USB-C charging, which I have those set up on my other bench here. But the cool thing is this. All the bits that come with it. So you know Hex, you're using 1.5s. Here they've got 0.8, 0.9, 1, 1, 3, 1, 5, 2, 5, 3. And it goes all the way up to 3, that covers all of them that you could possibly need. And you got flat tip screwdrivers, you got Torx bits. Here you got Phillips, all different sizes of Phillips. And I don't know, what is that? Is that like a stir? Not sure what that is. It does have a pair of tweezers here. A big pair of tweezers. Kind of neat. I didn't even notice that today when I was looking at it. And then more Phillips, more flathead, some weird U ones. Other hexes and Torx bits. Anyway, there's like 92 bits or something like that. I don't know. It's a lot. And then with this is pretty sweet. Let's try this. They're all held in with magnets, by the way, so that's kind of neat. So we got this. Let's take the old Meus truck. We want to reverse it. Put it back in. Perfect. Well, that's neat. What do you guys think? Pretty cool little thing. I guess there was a bunch of generic ones. They had a hard time picking which one to get, but they said somewhere they found that this is the original, the real one, the Fanttik NEX E1 Max is the best one for this size. Fanttik also makes a bigger one for different stuff, obviously. But for mini size, this is the one you want. It works good. You saw it work there. And then these are held in with magnets. So then when you're done with it, you slide those back down in. And then you slide this down the middle. It's all magnetic. And it doesn't come out. So you can carry this around. Shake weight. Anyway. I don't know. I love it. Especially now that I just saw how it did on that screw. It took it all the way out, put it all the way back in. What more could you want from a screwdriver, right? Instead of using one of these, have a tool caddy coming, by the way, guys, so I don't have to have all my tools standing up right there. So, trying to use one of these, I mean, it's not bad. I'm not complaining about it, but having one of these... Oh, by the way, this is all metal. So, having one of these over one of these is a plus. It's also going to be a plus putting together these beadlock wheels, because I can use the little bits and put those 60 screws together in no time. Alright, I think that's it, guys. It's been a good Father's Day for me so far. Hope it's been great for you guys. I got a big dinner coming up here. My wife and son should be home soon. So I will say goodbye. Enjoy the rest of your day. And as always, thanks for watching. And we will see you again soon. Thanks, guys.